Hi, I'm Celia, and this is Let's Talk Horror with Friends. This is a series where I discuss horror, usually movies, with people who don't normally watch it. Today I have my husband, D'Anthony. Hi. So, D'Anthony, what is your favorite genre?
My favorite genre would probably be action, something in the realm of like all of the super popular Marvel movies right now. Um, Anything with lots of explosions.
Lots of explosions. Okay, and what is your favorite movie? Is it a Marvel movie or is it?
It's actually a DC movie. My favorite movie would have to be Dark Knight. Heath Ledger's acting in that just.
I agree. Do you like scary movies?
I watch them from time to time. They're not my number one choice, but I'll definitely watch a scary movie if it's presented to me.
Or if I ask you to watch a movie with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay, well, today we're going to watch one. We are going to watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and let me just read a little synopsis for you.
All right, lay it on me.
Okay. Affable hillbillies Tucker and Dale are on vacation at their dilapidated mountain cabin when they are mistaken for murderers by a group of preppy college students.
That's a nice twist.
Yes, it is. I have seen this before, but
Okay.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. So with that said, we're gonna go watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and we'll see you after the movie. All right, we're back. So D'Anthony, tell me, what did you think of Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
For a horror movie, I think Tucker and Dale is definitely bleeding over more to the comedic side of things, which I think was the point. It seemed like a parody.
Yeah, it on IMDb it says it's a comedy horror.
I liked it. Anything that makes me laugh, keep me interested. So I definitely think it was a good movie of all the horror movies I've seen, and a particularly good parody, flipping the roles of certain characters and expectations.
So I'm glad that it made you laugh because usually when I show him movies, it's just like how anyone does, where you show them like something on YouTube and you think it's hilarious, but other people don't. So while we were watching it, I actually did see him laugh a little bit, so that's good. Were there any parts in particular that made you laugh?
The one that's sticking out in my mind right now is probably college kids.
College kids. College kid. I love that part.
So
it was so funny.
That was pretty funny to me, and I think Tucker and Dale's just like disbelief at these college kids accidentally killing themselves. It's just the pure horror that they have on their face, and then of course Tucker, his whole demeanor throughout the film is comedic.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of funny parts, I also liked towards the end, Chad, like the main antagonist, finding out that he's part hillbilly. So I also really liked that. So we know it's a comedy horror. We talked about the comedy part, so let's talk about the horror part. Did you find Tucker and Dale versus Evil scary at any point in the film?
Not particularly. I feel like it was trying to. Well, let me backtrack. Maybe in the beginning, I think it was trying to give you that impression that this may actually have the stereotypical kids go out on a trip to the woods for their cabin and then they meet up with the locals who seem really sketchy thing. I think they were trying to push that in the beginning to get the audience to buy into, oh, this is going to be another typical horror movie, a horror slasher where the kids get killed or attacked by whatever the main antagonist is.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing though, because if it just started off funny, I may not have liked it as much. Because me, like, it's hard for me to watch movies that aren't strictly horror. So if I know that it's not going to be, even if the movie itself is not scary, if I know that it's not going to at least try to go that route, I have a hard time liking the movie. So I do appreciate that they started off like a normal slasher would.
Yeah, it was a nice little intro into it, and then you get to dive right into these two random country folk who are just horribly misunderstood. I'm just a misunderstood man. I'm not a monster.
No.
So yeah, I think it tried to build it up just to throw you for a loop later, which I think was good. But overall, if I were to say, did this film scare me? No, not even a little bit.
Yeah, me neither. One thing that could possibly scare people is the gore, which I think was pretty good. There wasn't like through the movie there wasn't like a whole bunch of gore, but the parts that had happened was quite a bit. For example, there's one portion where one of the college kids accidentally throws himself into a wood chipper and blood goes everywhere. So parts like that, I did like. It wasn't like super, I don't know if they used all practical or all CGI or a mixture of both, but it looked really good. It looked pretty real, so I was happy with that. Storyline, how did you like the story in general? Did it make sense? Did you expect anything that happened or...
Yeah, the story made sense up until nearing the end with the kid who's clearly off his rocker.
Chad.
Chad. It's always a Chad. It made sense because it was college kids are going to on their vacation trip, whatever, retreat, and this is the same time where our main protagonists are going off to their summer home. They happen to be in the same place. And there's just a misunderstanding between the two. The thing that confused me, because I figured that was going to be the entire premise, or I feel like it was like tossed in there just for comedic purposes, was Chad's background, which I think that was like supposed to be funny, like explaining why he's so super edgy. Like, this is the environment we need to be in. This is your opportunity to live. I'm like, what? This isn't Saw. You haven't been.
Yeah, I'm torn because on one hand, I think Chad's backstory was a little bit unnecessary. I mean, he could have just been off his rocker, just like normal.
Too many shrooms.
Yeah, he didn't really need to have all that. But on the other hand, it kind of made sense as to why he was crazy or why he was like that, because it's in his blood. So
I'm part hillbilly.
He's
no.
part hillbilly. He's part hillbilly. Okay, so I've seen this movie multiple times. How do you think the rewatchability is? Would you watch it again?
Because it's steeped so much in comedy, I think it has great reviewability.
Yeah.
I guess reusability. You can watch it again.
You can watch it again.
I'd say this is a good one for like maybe like a once a monther, or maybe like once every few months. I wouldn't watch it like multiple times a week, but it's definitely something that you forget about and then you bring back out and you can get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Before today, I think the last time I saw was maybe like 6 months ago. I don't know. So I agree. It's good to pull out every so often. Or I would even say I think it's a great movie to introduce people who don't normally watch horror to, which is why I picked it for you, because I knew there would be some parts that you would enjoy. So, last question, now that we've seen this movie, what do you think of horror in general? What do you think of the genre?
With this movie in mind, it makes me think, or it helps reinforce the idea that horror is a multifaceted genre, and it can come at you from a lot of different angles. I don't think a lot of people expect a horror movie to be so comedic. I know the intent of the movie was to be a parody, but it still had technically the elements that you would need for a horror film to be a horror film.
Yeah.
And still pulled off being mostly funny. So the same could be said about different kinds, your gore porns.
Yeah, yeah.
Your psychological thrillers that you think border on the line of actually spooky or just a head trip.
Yeah, I think there is a horror movie for everyone. Just like D'Anthony was saying, there's gore porn for people who like torture. There's a lot of other things. There's psychological thrillers who they're for people that maybe don't want like the in your face scares, but still want something. Yeah, but still want something like along those lines. There's something for everyone. All right. Well, I'm glad that you liked the movie.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. I look forward
course.
to doing this again. So thank you everyone for watching. And with that said, I'll see you next time.
Peace.